It's the pandemic and you're really bored at home and you want to build a PC, but you wonder what kind of annoying things are there that you have to face when you're building a PC. Well, building a PC is relatively easy, but there are some annoying things or things that tick that kind of annoy you while building a PC. So here are 9 annoying things that you experience or when you build a PC during the pandemic. Number 1. Selecting the PC components that you require. Before you build a PC, you need to know what kind of computer you're going to build. Whether it's going to be a work-related computer or a gaming-related computer or overall workstation. Or you just want to stroll with it. So it's not that easy to basically build a PC because it gets kind of annoying in between. Selecting the components to have the right and just components is very important, and if you are not able to do that, it can get really tricky. So selecting the components such as the graphics card, processor and RAM and everything requires a lot of attention and a lot of time. So that's one main annoying problem that people are going to face, especially during the pandemic, because of the new things that have been releasing as well as the amount of limited availability. Number 2. Limited or no stock. So you must be wondering how this is an annoying thing. So if you really are trying to search for things right now during the pandemic, you will find that a lot of things are out of stock, especially the new NVIDIA graphics card, the new AMD graphics card are out of stock, as well as really important components such as the processors. The latest generation processors are still out of stock, and that's really frustrating. So you trying to wait for the best components is going to take a lot of time, and it's going to waste a lot of your energy as well as your motivation to build a PC component, because basically you always want to have a very ideal approach to building a PC and getting it done as soon as possible so then you can have your dream PC. But then if you have unavailable stock, believe me, that's a real doozy that's going to kind of irritate you. Number 3. Shopping in an actual store. Many of you guys really want to know what kind of components you're having, and you really love to go and browse through and shop through an actual store. But given the circumstances, many of these stores are kind of either closed or they are very limited to people, as well as there's a serious risk of getting COVID. So yeah, because of this very reason, many people are not able to go and buy the desired components, and yeah, the pandemic has really screwed that for many people, and this can be annoying for some people who really want to see what they're buying before they actually take it from the store, or if they order it from online. So having to shop in an actual store is kind of important. Number 4. Not receiving the components on time. So you find the trouble of finding everything in place, you find it in stock, then still there's one problem. Due to the shipping delays, you don't get your products on time. So you're very eager to have your PC, but you get different components at different time. Like I got my motherboard before my processor, and that was kind of annoying, and that probably will be very annoying for people to have different components come at different time, because they can't really access or build a proper PC until they get every single component that they require for building a PC. And usually during the pandemic, there's a lot of shipping delay as there is shortage of staff, as well as decline in the number of transport system that is present over here. So yeah, hold on tight to that. Number 5. Paying your saved up cash. Many people tend to save up a lot of their money through cash due to their pocket money as well as through their savings jar. So during the pandemic, many people have opted out of paying cash, and that's a likelihood of a problem for many people who basically collect cash and tend to give their money through cash. So if you have a cash problem, it's better to always deposit your money and pay it through online or through a credit card, because there's a less likelihood of transmitting any disease due to the money transaction. Number 6. Overpriced product. Due to a shortage of supply, a lot of people have the problem of getting their components for a shorter or a cheaper price. The number of products that are present are really low, and because of that, the dealers basically charge a lot of money for the products. That can be really frustrating. So a lot of people tend to want their PC early, and they tend to not wait for new cheaper stock or supply, and that can be a big problem as well. Number 7. Screws falling off the motherboard. I know I have been speaking about the pandemic stuff and what basically is a shortage during the pandemic and annoying things during the pandemic. But trust me, the good old screw falling behind the motherboard is really annoying, and it can get on your nerves really easily. Especially because you have to unscrew the whole entire motherboard and you have to remove the screws just to put it back. And believe me, that's a really annoying task. It's highly recommended that you have magnetic screwdrivers, but then it is very improbable that many people have the desired tools for that. Number 8. Not having the required tools. So when you're building a computer, it's highly recommended that you have proper tools, especially when you're building a PC, because many a times many of the problems such as screw falling can occur due to not having magnetic screwdrivers, as well as not having proper cooling thermal paste can also be a problem in the long run while having a PC. It is highly recommended to have the required tools, which you can easily find online or on the next video that I have in the future. Number 9. Many times while building the PC, you gotta handle the I/O cables, from putting it in the motherboard to making sure that it doesn't mess up the whole build is really a nuisance sometimes. Usually while putting the I/O cables in the motherboard, it can kind of easily be confused for the different I/O pins, because they are awfully small and you require some amount of patience, and basically that can be annoying for many people. And for many people who have been building the PC for a long time also share the same form of problems. So if you have I/O cables, make sure that you plug in properly, because you have to reopen your case and test the I/O cables again and again. These seem like a pretty usual problem that doesn't seem really big until you actually come across it. And trust me, many people have this problem. So make sure that you have a decent understanding of what you're going through, and make sure that you have a proper build. So guys, make sure that you like and you subscribe to our channel for upcoming videos where we'll give more tips as well as talk about tech. Stay tuned.